You guys coming. I know it's been a few days since media day, but we've gotten in some good practices here this week. Just finished a really nice practice here this morning. Got 2 days again tomorrow, and keep grinding and keep moving forward. So nothing really much for me to say, so I'll go ahead and open it up to any questions you guys have.
Were there changes to the depth chart after you tested the scrimmage?
Minor. Some guys may have got moved up to the same line with somebody. Just to split some reps and create some competition, but nobody necessarily got completely flipped or moved down much. It was more about rewarding some guys that probably deserved an opportunity to get more reps.
What about Denman first team, right tackle?
Nothing's been set yet. I mean, he's right tackle, left tackle. He's going to be. We really right now probably have 3 tackles that we feel will be game ready, and they'll go either way.
Eric Magolis, what have you seen from him since he's stepped up when Trevor got hurt?
He's out there grinding. He's working extremely hard. He hadn't played football, for a while. He wasn't a part of spring. He's out from the postseason surgery. But I really like Eric. He's working extremely hard. Still trying to find, probably what his best position is going to be at linebacker. But he's getting a lot of reps and he's showing a lot of improvement.
Coach, you mentioned earlier in camp that Hicks had some work to do. Did he make any progress, or how's it been over the last
year?
Yeah,
his probably last 4 to 5 practices have been really pretty good. Started off slow, kind of ended the spring practice slow. Started training camp a little slow. Coach Kerr's been doing a great job with Josh, and I really think his last 4 or 5 practices have been pretty good.
There's a lot of upperclassmen on the offensive line. Are they playing like they have a lot of experience? Is that a strength for this team so far?
I hope it will be. I really like where they're at right now. They keep getting better. They're grinding, and that's what we want our offense to do is really set the standard of how we're going to work and train, and how the type of energy we're going to bring at practice. And I would say between them and the D-line, both sides of the ball up front are bringing it every single day, and they're getting a lot better. And we go ones on ones a lot, and those guys up front on the offensive line and defensive line are banging, pushing each other a lot, and both sides are getting better because of it.
How hard is what you're trying to do tempo-wise for the offense, on the offensive linemen? Obviously, the biggest guys, some 300-pounders.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a challenge for guys that aren't in great shape. Good thing is, I think right now our offensive line is in pretty good shape. We've talked a lot about how we've been able to restructure their bodies to fit what we do offensively, and I think they have done a nice job of embracing that. And they go out, they're getting a lot of reps at practice, and there doesn't seem to be any issues with it.
I think calendar-wise, I think you're about the midway point of camp. You worry? How's the work ethic and the attitude, and do you ever worry about like dog days setting in?
Yeah, I mean everybody goes through the dog days of camp. Just you're in the middle of camp, you're practicing. You have no idea what's going on in the outside world. You're either on the practice field, you're in meeting rooms, you're sleeping. That's just the way it is for everybody right now. The teams that can continue to push forward and stay focused and keep improving and showing up every single day to get better are the ones that take advantage of these days. I can say right now, I think through the practices that we've had, we've gotten better every practice. I can't say that we went out there and wasted an opportunity in some capacity to get better. So the players have grinded, and they're embracing where we're at in camp right now. And it's a little bit cooler this week, and I think they're thankful for that. But it is what it is. Middle of training camp, and we'll keep pushing.
Chris, as a first-year head coach, how important is it to have a guy like Darius, who's an all-conference player, 2-time captain?
I don't care if you're a first-year coach or been doing it for 15 years. Everyone needs great players, and Darius is a great player and a great leader. And again, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're at and how many years you've coached. You're only going to be a good coach if you got great players and good leadership, and he sets the standard for both of those.
Has his buy-in to what you've been saying since he got here, and him, I guess, preaching it to younger players, has that helped you?
Yeah, Darius has done a great job of helping get the commitment and the buy-in from everybody else. But I'll be honest with you, I think everybody has bought in. It wasn't Darius making that happen. Darius has been great because he bought in, and if he didn't, there might have been some other guys that wouldn't have. But I can't say enough good things about every player in this program right now, doing the things that we ask them to do with the effort that we ask them to do, and Darius has been a great leader out in front, leading the pack with that.
Coach, you have a lot of.
As someone who's known Darius and covered him since high school, I'm also curious about him. And you know, when he came here, it was such a commitment to it, like a different kind of Rutgers. And I guess that's what we're sort of curious about, just sort of how he's, for you, assimilated into what you're doing. Was there ever a doubt that he even would come back? Like, did you have early conversations? You know, just
Yeah,
how you've gotten to know him and
Yeah,
feeling his kind of taking on this whole new program.
You know, you'd probably need to ask him more than me. If there was ever a thought from Darius about not coming back, I didn't know it, never heard of it. Didn't ever sense that that was an issue or a thought. If there was, again, that would have been probably between Darius and his family, but I never once sensed that at all. Obviously, with him not playing last year, it was going to be tough for him not to come back.
Right.
And play, and if he wants an opportunity to go to the NFL, which he does, he was going to need to come back and play. You know, for him to be successful going into his last year, he knows what he needs to do, and the best thing is to go out and be a great leader and to be a great player for us as a program, not just me as a head coach or us as a staff, because we're new. We've tried to make connections with these players all along the way, and Darius is no different than that. It didn't happen overnight just because we showed up. It took some time and effort to connect with the players and get them to understand how we were going to run the program, and I think they've embraced it.
Two more
Coach, you mentioned you know, Darius as a leader. You have other fifth-year seniors as well on both the offensive and defensive line. So how important is it to have those experienced veterans in the trenches as you're trying to instill your system this training camp?
Well, again, like I said before, it doesn't matter what training camp it is. It doesn't matter, you know, who you are, where you're at. The more veteran leadership and playmakers you have up front, we want to be an offensive line driven, or really a line of scrimmage driven program. That means we want to be great on the offensive line and great on the defensive line. And if you've got experienced players that are talented, that grind and work really hard, you got a chance for success. And I'd say we've walked into a situation where we got some offensive linemen that are experienced or older, they understand what it takes. We've got some defensive linemen that are older and experienced and get what it takes, and they lead this football team every single day. The energy we get at practice, you know, we're practicing long. You know, one of the things that we talk about why players don't improve, it's a lack of reps, and we're not going to let that be an excuse. So the only way you get the proper number of reps is to go work and go grind. And the guys up front have to lead the charge and embrace that, because you know it's tougher on them just because of the size of their body. And, we're fortunate that we've got great leadership, and I think we've got some really good players up front on both sides.
Chris, just to clarify with the depth chart, so no change with the quarterbacks at all?
No, not from what I talked about at Media Day. You know, I mentioned at Media Day about Laviano and Zach Allen getting more reps with the 1s and 2s, and that's exactly what we've done. There's nothing different than that.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.